this is tough. Coach Hall, first of all, I appreciate you coming up here and talking to us after every game. This one has to be one of the hardest we've ever done.
It is, but I'll tell you what, I'm so proud of our kids tonight. You know, if anyone ever doubted that we couldn't compete at this level or this level of toughness, a bunch of people did. Then we made believers tonight. You know, shaking hands with those guys after the game, to a man, they said, hey, this is your game to win. We didn't deserve to win this thing. So proud of our kids, how tough we played. We knew it was going to come down to this type of game. Their defense is one of the best defenses we've seen in years. You know, they have great speed. Their perimeter, they have those big horses up front. So it was really hard to determine what we could do, and we tried to mix up a lot of formations tonight, which helped us. Trying to get in a groove. You know, the 2 turnovers in the first half really hurt us, you know, offensively to keep things going, but, boy, our defense played lights out.
Little stat, our defense now in 2 games has given up 1 score, 2 kickoff returns, and 1 score against 2 quality programs. I mean, they've been fabulous. They kept getting us back on the field continually, and they worked their tail off tonight.
They did. You know, Grant Maston had another great performance at linebacker. I mean, he's having a heck of a senior year.
Very good.
Oh, my gosh. You know, Xander Karagoshin, I'm pronouncing that wrong. I know. My God.
I butchered up, too, and he's a special player.
He is a special player. I tell you what, he's all over the place tonight. I thought our D-line tonight did their jobs. You know, we played Caleb McGraw in there, Ty Jones, Tylen Messer, Sean Woodyard got a start tonight and played really well, that D-tackle, and they just had jobs of just don't get washed, create piles, and don't let those guys have lanes, because those running backs flat out fly. Now allowed, you know, Brody Butcher and Grant Maston and Jacob Winters, linebacker, to really fill those gaps and come. I thought our safeties played well. Our corners, you know, kept everything in front. You know, like I said, 5 of 15 throwing the football for them. You know, that was solid. But, you know, we did what we had to do to win the game. You know, at that halftime, you know, we thought, okay, we're right in this thing. You know, the turnovers they have, you know, allowed us to have field position. Finally, I mean, the first half, we were inside our 20-yard line, it seemed like every possession.
Ooh, it was tough.
And so we finally flipped the field. You know, Cade Wolford had a nice off-tackle run for a touchdown. So at halftime, we knew right in the ball game. Second half, it was just slugfest. But I really thought the second half, we were the aggressors. I thought we really took it to them up front. You know, we did what they do to everyone else, you know, and that was pound the ball inside, play action pass. You know, here we come. You know, we moved, you know, Winters to fullback and said, hey, tackle that big guy and see if you can, you know, get him down. And
the big guy showed a little heart tonight, didn't he?
He did. He
wow.
did. And I knew, I mean, he had a cramp there at the end, and you knew it was coming.
You predicted that.
Yeah, I knew it was
coming. We needed to have a big body back there toting.
Right, and thought that he could do that. And, you know, Cade Wolford did a nice job at halfback leading on that stuff. I thought our line really grew up the second half and knocked those guys back. We had lanes to run through, you know, and then we get the ball down there. We had a great, I don't know how many minute drive or play drive we had to set up the field goal. But, you know, we did what we were supposed to do. We grinded the clock. We got the ball close to the middle of the field on the second or third down play. You know, great hold by Jake Wood, you know, to get the ball down. Great kick by Ethan Crabtree. I mean, it was a heck of a kick.
He tried to freeze the sophomore, and he just stayed away from everybody.
Yes.
I had really a lot of fun watching him. Even on the sideline, stayed away from everybody. Didn't talk to anybody, concentrated, and did his job.
Yeah, he did. You know, and then on the kickoff, you know, we wanted the ball just to barely be squibbed. You know, on the ground, we kicked it a little harder than we wanted to. You know, but you know, we should have got those guys to the ground. You can't allow guys. I mean, they pitched the ball twice behind the line, and you know, give them Perkins kid credit. I mean, they stayed with it. I mean, we didn't get guys on the ground. You know, you play to the end, and you know, they made one more play than we did, and that was the ball game. But go ahead.
Well, you said you were going to use so many formations tonight. We did, but boy, did we lock in on just an unbalanced right or left with split backs and Spires under center. And I just said that continually. Once you found what we could do, my gosh, we just ran it. Ran it.
Yeah, and we wanted to do some other things, but it just seemed like that was working.
It was working.
Just would come off tackle.
And you could run behind the unbalanced side, and you could run to the short side, right, in both ways.
Right, and so, you know, we were able to do that, and then, like I said, but the whole game defensive, I'm so proud of our kids. I mean, they flew the football. You know, if that offensive line is brutal. You know, I mean, they're 300-pound kids up there with 4 running backs that run at you. You know, both fullbacks are 240. You know, they get downhill in a heartbeat. And I'll tell you, we didn't get knocked back. I mean, we gave up one run about maybe 10 yards or so, and that was it.
He's got a couple, and he is a load.
Oh, my God, he's a load. He's 212.
Yeah, but we just had more big ones late.
We did, and we did.
Converted third downs and kept it going.
Kept it going. And I said, everyone can look and say, okay, the last play of the game got us beat. No, we had, how many times we punt tonight?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, we also talk about our defense gave up we've only given up 1 score on our defense. Well, that score was because they got a turnover on the 10-yard line, had a 10-yard field to score on. That's the only points our D has given up in 2 games.
In 2 games. And so, did you look at the game, and it's easy, again, to blame one play or one situation. Yeah. But, like I said, we punted the ball a ton tonight. We had 2 turnovers in the first half. The turnover that we had gave them the score. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, we can nickel and dime this thing to death, but we didn't, one more play, and we lost the ball game. But, again, I'm so proud of our kids because we showed some toughness tonight that, you don't know what you got until you're in those battles. I told the kids, I said, this is a game that we put on the schedule because if we want to win a regional championship, we got to play Hartley. We got to play Waterson. We got to play Triumph Valley. Guys are just as big as this and physical, and we can't be week 12, 13, and then all of a sudden get hit in the mouth and not have any idea how we're going to respond to it. So this is a playoff atmosphere, a playoff game, a playoff team in the state championship 2 years in a row, and we went toe-to-toe with these guys tonight. So, we feel bad, and those kids are devastated in the locker room. I told them we got about 20 minutes to feel bad right now, and then we're going to get out of here. We're going to get back to Jackson because we got another state championship type team
2 years ago.
2 years ago that's coming in next week. That's athletic and tough, and our coach has been the head coach for 45 years. I mean, they have a great program. So we got about 15 more minutes to feel bad, and then it's time to man up and get ready for next week.
Well, for fans that were lucky enough to be here tonight, and I hope a lot more were listening, it was special. Ironton, I think, won their 704th game in the history of Ironton football, most in all of Southeastern District. Guess who's number 2? We are at about 630. We're the second most wins, and boy, tonight you would have thought these are 2 of the very best.
Yeah, they were, and I tell you, it's just, like I said, I'm so proud of our kids. Learning situation. We get in that situation again. Maybe we get some, do some things differently. But can't cut to Ironton. They fought hard. I mean, it was a heavyweight battle. It's exactly what we thought in the pregame show. We talked about 2 heavyweights just slugging it out in the middle of the ring, and last man standing is going to win. And unfortunately, that wasn't us tonight.
Coach will let you get back down with your troops. And, our kids are resilient.
They are.
Tough kids.
They're great kids. I love them.
It's going to be a tough week, and they'll bounce back, and I'll bet they'll give you a great week of practice.
I have no doubt in my mind. My staff will get them ready. And like I said, they got now about 10 minutes to fill for this, and it's time to move on and get ready for next week.
Congratulations, Coach, on a heartbreaker.
I
mean, it's not a win, but it's one of the best football games I've ever witnessed.
It's a pretty good one.
And we witnessed a few of them.
Yes, we have.
We'll talk to you next week.
All right, thanks.
Well, the Jackson Ironmen fall to the Ironton Tigers by a score of 13-10 in one of the most heartbreaking losses that Pete Wilson, myself, our buddy Dan Dobbins have ever been involved in. And, Pete, the only thing we can do is do like the team is. Let's quit feeling sorry for ourselves and be ready to bounce back next week. We got a fabulous schedule this year. We got good teams all the way through, and it's going to be fun to play Licking Valley next week. And you're right, 2 years ago they were in the state finals. So,
right, another great challenge. You got to get up for it, and I think we can all agree about this. The present and the future are more important than the past, and that's what we have in front of us.
Absolutely. Well, we want to give a big thank you to Hayden back at the station. He weathered through all our delays with weather and everything, and kind of stressful at times, but he really stepped up to the plate, did a great job, and all the fans driving back to Jackson, I know we're beat up right at the moment, but this Jackson Ironman team will bounce back, and it's going to be fun next week as the Ironmen get back in Alumni Stadium, and that's always a good thing, and Licking Valley comes to town, and that should be a real fun matchup.